In today's video, we're going to talk about the Gaitonistas, also known as the Gulf Clan, currently the most powerful clan in Colombia. Since they're settled in Colombia, you can probably guess the business they're in. Drug trafficking is their main occupation, but there's so much more to it. Origins and rise of the group. The group refers to itself as the Gaitonist Self-Defense Forces of Colombia, while the Colombian government calls them by the name Gulf Clan. The exact origin of the group most likely dates back to 2006, when an interesting set of events took place in the country.
Como jefe, unificó el grupo ilegal como las Autodefensas Unidas de Colombia, AUC. Posteriormente negoció su desmovilización y entrega de las armas al Estado colombiano.
Firstly, following the demobilization process of the United Self-Defense Forces of Colombia, or AUC, the paramilitary warlord Vicente Castano added 2 of his lieutenants to the paramilitary group. One of them, Eva Velosa Garcia, alias HH, is the ex-commander of AUC's Calima bloc, while the other one, called Daniel Rendon Herrera, alias Don Mario, was the former finance chief of Centauros bloc, one of the richest paramilitary factions. Eventually, since Castano was assassinated in 2007, Don Mario became the new leader of the cartel. Reportedly, Castano lost his life due to the betrayal of his former ally HH himself. Don Mario strengthened the cartel by adding former paramilitary fighters along with his brother Freddy, El Alaman, who had commanded the AUC's 2,000-strong Elmer Cardenas bloc. Don Mario experienced rapid growth of power in a very short period. He expanded his fighting force until reaching as many as 80 people promptly. That was accompanied by monopolizing the important drug route. Taxing every drug trafficker for the drugs that pass through Mario's territory is the method he used to become one of the richest traffickers in the country. It also impacted the power of the clan immensely. The clan managed to tremendously expand itself, taking over southern Cordoba province, Bajo Cauca region in northern Antioquia, and Medellin. The downfall of Don Mario and the group under new leadership. Mario's rise was fast, but his downfall was even faster. Not only did he become one of the richest, but also one of the most wanted traffickers in Colombia, meaning he attracted a lot of attention to himself. He was not only of interest to the police, who suspected him of more than 3,000 homicides in 2 years, but he also caught the eye of rival groups, including Pesas, Rastrojos, and Oficina de Envigado. Don Mario was captured in 2009, and, due to his capture, the throne devolved into 2 brothers, Juan de Dios Usuga Giovanni and Dario Antonio Usuga Otonil, who partnered with demobilized guerrillas of the Popular Liberation Army. Before joining the AUC, they continued expanding the empire, sometimes through agreements and deals, but frequently with violence as well. Although it seemed the group would weaken after losing one of the commanders, Giovanni, who fell victim to the police, it never happened. On the contrary, the group continued rising with Otonil as the only leader. A lucky circumstance for them was that the leader of their strongest rival group, Rastrojos, surrendered to police, which debilitated the group exceedingly. These fortunate turns of events helped the clan to take control of the drug production zone, trafficking corridors, and international dispatch points throughout North Colombia along the Pacific and Atlantic coasts. The downfall and the counteroffensive. The government simply had to react when the clan flew off the handle, so they started a huge offensive known as Operation Agamemnon. At first, the government was only able to trace the ordinary Gaitonista members. It looked like the leaders got away with it, but not for too long. In the second phase of the operation, most of the leaders were either assassinated or arrested by the security forces. Some of the biggest names of the clan were eliminated, including Roberto Vacaz Gutierrez and Luis Orlando Padilla, while Eduardo Ortiz Tubaquia was arrested. Otonil's brother, sister, and cousin were also arrested and extradited to the US, and that's what put a lot of pressure on him. but he still somehow managed to prolong his freedom for an extended period of time. After the Gaetonistas lost the majority of people, O'Neil offered to turn himself in and demobilize the whole clan, but the government refused the bid. Eventually, they even caught O'Neil and extradited him to the US in 2022, where he was charged with the manufacture and distribution of cocaine. Occupation. As mentioned, the clan's main occupation was drug trafficking, but it's not that simple. More precisely, the cartel is rather a service provider to independent drug traffickers than a drug cartel itself. They regulate the run of cocaine, escort shipments to international trafficking corridors, ensure access to or protection from processing labs, and lastly, provide storage and dispatch services in coastal and border regions. It's important to state that the group was mostly involved in transnational drug trafficking and was closely related to the Venezuelan and Italian mafia. Since they control their territories in the full sense of the word, it means they're responsible for everything that happens in these areas, running or monitoring all criminal activities taking place there. Structure and municipalities. The leadership, settled in Uraba and Gaetonistas, was divided into plenty of cells. Some cells were directly commanded by leadership, while others that used the name Gaetonistas Self-Defense Forces of Colombia provided services and followed the given strategy. The National Command node that was based in Uraba consisted of former guerrillas turned paramilitaries led by O'Neil. Even though many people thought O'Neil's extradition would be the beginning of the end for the clan, that's still uncertain. After O'Neil, Jovanes de Jesus Avila Villadiego, or Chiquito Malo. His rise was somewhat slow, but by the year 2015, he was considered as one of the most influential people in the Gulf clan. Everyone was expecting the worst-case scenario when he took control of the clan in 2021, but the clan appears to be unexpectedly resistant to fragmentation, no matter what. Prevalence of the Gulf clan across Colombia. The franchise is present in as many as 17 of Colombia's departments, but internationally as well. The base is positioned around the Gulf of Uraba in the departments of Antioquia, Chocó, and Córdoba. Also, they've tactically positioned themselves on the Caribbean coast, the city of Medellín, in the departments such as La Guajira, Santander, Val del Cauca, and Norte de Santander. To maintain good connections with Venezuela, the clan also has a presence in and around Cachuta near the Venezuelan border. Rivalry and partnership. It takes much effort to become the top-tier criminal clan in Colombia, and that path includes a lot of battlefields as well. Of course, some clans decide to partner up to complete their tasks efficiently. The demobilization of the guerrillas of the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia triggered the vast competition for territory between armed groups. The Gaetonistas' rival clan is the National Liberation Army, and the Department of Chocó is the place where the two clans engage in fierce fights. There's no regularities when it comes to partnership and rivalry between clans, because it varies from place to place. For example, the new mafia formed from the remains of the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia seems to be an ally and an enemy of the Gulf Group at the same time. If both sides have an interest to cooperate in one territory, they'll do so and ignore the fact that their remaining cells in other territories fight each other until their last breath. Allegedly, the two sides are working together in northern Córdoba, while they're simultaneously competing for the territory in parts of Antioquia. According to some sources, smaller groups emerged from the base of the Gulf clan and opposed its leadership, possibly for not being paid for work. One more curiosity is that the clan has allied with their old enemies, Rastrojos. Recently, Colombia's president proposed a total peace agreement, and the Gaetonistas expressed the desire to be part of it. On the other hand, it's uncertain what other clans will do. Future expectations. Following the arrest of O'Neil and the elimination of many other leaders, it's obvious that the era of the model of central leadership coordinating smaller factions and half-independent franchises has reached its end. However, that doesn't mean that it's all over with the clan. They still hold strategic criminal territories, offer services to independent drug traffickers, and monitor or run local criminal activities. It's yet to be seen how the clan is going to be organized in the future, as well as what type of network will form this time, and of course, if it's going to reach its strength of the past. Additionally, it'll be very interesting to see the outcome of Gustavo Petro's proposal, as it will put Colombian criminal groups to a test that will eventually show if Colombian society is ready to turn its back on these illegal activities or not. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and comment on this video. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you liked what we're doing and want us to continue with more cool content. Until the next time.